Hello and welcome to Weaste Allotments. It's the date's the March the 17th 2014. As you can see, the chicken coop is now, well, the outside of it's painted. I've not painted the inside. There's a good reason for not painting the inside. I don't want it looking like a bordello on the inside of it. But like I say, I put the chicken coop in yesterday. It was already built. It was just a matter of getting it down here and screwing it together. The ramp's in place. Let's go and have a look inside it. Alright, just looking inside here, you can see this is an aluminium floor. It's a couple of sheets that I had, and you can actually hang on, it actually lifts up, so I can actually lift it and clean the chicken coop out without too much fuss. I've got 2 perches here for them to perch on. There's going to be 8 chickens in this coop, and I've been told it's more than adequate. There's 3 nest boxes there. What I've got to do is now get the straw, sawdust. Well, I've actually got sawdust for the floor. I just need to get some straw and sawdust for the boxes at the back. I've got to cover them boxes up as well, because the chickens at the moment are not written. I think he said they're 16 weeks old, 17 weeks old. They're at that point of lay now, but he said to actually cover the nest boxes up if you can until you start seeing a few eggs, and then open it up when you think they're ready for for laying. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover them up for the time being. There's a ventilation in here as well at the top. I might stick another vent in here. I did stick a window in the door, just so there's light getting into the chicken coop, so it's not completely dark when I shut the door. Let's just shut the door now. There's the front of it. Like I say, the doors, it opens, both sides opens right out, so I can actually get full access into the front of the chicken coop. I've got a latch here. Pull that out, and you stick it to there, so you can see the door is now, well, where the chicken's going, it's got a latch on it. The ramp, there's a little ramp there for them to come up and go down. I don't think it's too high for them, and plus it's got little steps on it as well. I've put little steps what I've made and nailed them on, so they can grip it as they're climbing. Let's see, come round here. Now there's a nest box on the back of it, right? As you can see in there, you just put your hands in and you grab the eggs. There's 3 of them. They're 12 inches by 10 by 10. 12 inches wide by 10 by 10. Perfectly adequate for a chicken. Like I say, I could have put straw and what have you in each one. And again, I haven't painted the inside. I've left the inside. What I will do is, before I go today, I've got a piece of perspex. And we'll put a piece of perspex in front of this, so if the rain comes from the north, it doesn't hit the chicken coop. So basically, there's no way the actual chicken coop can get wet. If you look up directly above that, you can see the actual. It's got a roof on the chicken run. I've even got a light that actually opens up that at the top, not as if it really needs to. It just adds a little bit more light into the chicken run. I added all the mesh. There's 2 different types of mesh here. Obviously there's the chicken wire to keep out the birds, well, the big birds that is, and there's the big thick mesh here to keep out the foxes. I've actually sat it up on bricks at the moment. I don't know if it's a wise thing to do. I might take it down off the bricks actually. And what I'm going to do is run with a tape and go measure a chicken. I'm not too sure how high they are, but from the floor to the base of it, I think it's about 9 inches. Maybe someone can give me an idea how big a fully grown chicken will be. Will it be okay getting underneath? Because what I've done is I've allowed them so they can actually go underneath it there, and they can actually use these legs as perches as well. So you know, they can actually sit on these rails and use them as perches. That was another idea I thought of. Actually, I tell a lie, I just thought of that now. But you know what I mean? I mean, they can actually roost on it outside. I put this blue cover here. I actually put this here yesterday because what was happening, we had drizzle and it was blowing from the west, and it was just catching the side of the chicken coop while I was painting it. But I thought I'm going to leave that there. The really simple reason is because the field's at back of it, and what people can't see, they can't get curious with. So that's there. Just covers the side of it, and the shed covers the other part of it. What I will have to do though is in the next, well, tomorrow, is put all the paving stones around the perimeter. That's to stop the foxes digging in. I've got a chain here to actually chain the door up. I'll put a few more bits and bobs into it. I've got to go now and buy the feeder pots and the water pots and the feed. There's a tack shop down the East Lancs, and they're pretty reasonable. I mean, you can buy chicken, you know, point of lay, the pellets, what they need to, what they eat. I think it's about £7.5–8 for 25 kilos. I get some oyster shell as well. That's about £7, and it's the feeder pots are about £8–9 each. You get a couple of each of them. So it's going to cost me about 200 altogether, about £220. That's with the chickens complete. So oh, there's another thing as well. What I'm going to do, very important, is get a magnet. I'm going to go across this floor like a fine tooth comb, because there's one or two little nails or screws that I've dropped in here while I was building all this, and the last thing I want is a chicken to swallow a bolt or something, or a screw. Like I say, it's looking for a needle in an haystack here at the moment, but I reckon if I got a couple of magnets and just drag it across the floor, thought I saw one then, but I hadn't. Get anything what's metal out of it, then they can scratch around and do what chickens do. So I hope you like this this update. Like I say, it's long in coming. I've been planning it and putting it off, and like I say, it's everything's all systems go now. I can't escape the inevitable because I've ordered the chickens. I pick them up on Wednesday. Place in Northwich. I can't off the top of my head tell you what the farm is, but apparently he's got thousands of them, and they're Nova Browns. I think he said they're between 16 and 18 weeks old, point of lay. So by Thursday you will be see chickens in here. And the reason why I've got chickens is to get the grandkids down on the allotments and get them involved. And like I say, my daughters, they very rarely come, but once they know they've got chickens, they'll be here every day wanting to feed them. Say the reverse psychology, and for £200, well worth it. So if I can get them all down here and doing a bit of gardening for £200, I think I've done something really special. Only time will tell. Like I say, all the paving stones are there to go around the path, so you know, it's not as if I haven't got them. I just need to put them down, and I can do that tomorrow. And Wednesday the chickens will be in. I'll put the chickens in the coop, and then yeah, I can start doing the last bits, touching up and what have you. But before I go today, what I'm going to do is put a piece of perspex here at the back of the chicken run, just to give it protection from the wind and the rain. Right then, I'm going to end the video now. I hope you all like what I've done. It's been fun actually building it. Like I say, I've had a bit of help. Like to get the things, to actually get the chicken run over there, it took 8 of my mates and 8 pints of beer to actually get this onto its foundations. I had help bringing the chicken coop down the other day. I obviously put it together, so I built it. It took me a while to build it. A total of I'd say 5 working hours. Most of the time was spent looking for my tools to build it. Quite simple thing to do. Like I say, it can hold up to anything up to 12 chickens comfortably. I mean really comfortable. There you go. Bye for now. Like I say, I'll post the pictures when I get the chickens in the coop on Wednesday.